conference of IPO of HDB Financial Services. We are delighted to bring an IPO after 7 years into the capital markets from the marquee HDFC Group. HDB is a shining example of HDFC Group's legacy, built on the foundation of integrity, excellence, and long-term value creation for all its stakeholders. Under the leadership of Mr. Ramesh, who has led the team right from the inception, HDB has served millions of customers and has emerged as one of India's largest and fastest growing customer franchise. Even Mr. Sarabji has been among the founding members of the franchise and a key pillar in its journey. The company has built a scaled and granular loan book which can sustain through multiple cycles. Its AUM, it has crossed 1 lakh crore AUM mark as of March 2025, growing at a CAGR of 24% over the last 2 years. I would now like to touch upon the deal specifications for this IPO. As you all know, the price band is rupees 700 to rupees 740 per share. The IPO size is 12,500 crores with fresh issue of 2,500 crores and an offer for sale of 10,000 crores by HDFC Bank. The offer also includes employee reservation portion of 20 crores and reservation for the shareholders of HDFC Bank of 1250 crores. The issue opens for public on Wednesday 25th June and closes on Friday 27 June. Ladies and gentlemen, this IPO is a defining moment in the incredible journey of this franchise and also for Indian capital markets. We warmly welcome all of you to partner with this franchise that has been led by a stellar leadership and a highly experienced management team. With that, now I would like to hand over to the MD and CEO, Mr. Ramesh, to take it forward.
Thank you very much, Apurva. Thank you very much, and thank you all for joining us today for the press meet for our IPO. As Apurva said, this is a 12,500 crore IPO, the largest NBFC IPO till date. I'll talk you through about our company and handle questions that you may have after my presentation. Skip the slide. As Apurva said, this is a 12,500 crore IPO. It will be listed on both BSE and NSE. The issue date is opens on 25th June, which is Wednesday this week. Closes on Friday, the 27th. The anchor will be announced tomorrow. And there's an employee reservation and a HDFC Bank shareholder reservation. Shareholders can apply in both categories, which is HDFC Bank shareholder and the retail and HNI. They will not be treated as multiple bids. So that's the deal structure. So I'll quickly, I think because the presentation is there. So we are a scaled, diversified, retail-focused NBFC. हम सिर्फ retail finance करते हैं. We don't have any corporate loans. We don't have any real estate loans. No structured loans. We only do retail lending. बहुत granular book है. We run it across 3 business lines. मैं आज सब business के बारे में बात करूँगा. About how we originate the business. That's how the businesses are structured. I'll talk about each of these businesses as we go along. So that's about the company. We are not a startup, right? We are a 17-year-old company, run the business through cycles, and have been consistent in growth and profitability. We are one of the largest and fastest growing customer franchisees. Sorry, don't change presentation, please. Yeah, thanks. Again, I'll put some numbers to explain our customer franchise. It's a well-seasoned and granular book. Why is a well-seasoned book important? Because retail finance, if you think about it, loans are typically a few months to 3-4 years. and our company started doing lending in 2008. So our book has had 4 or 5 churns, which has worked through cycles and the way the business runs. So it's a well-seasoned book. It's not a new book. It's a well-seasoned book. And talking about our businesses, we have 3 lines of businesses, as we said, and we only do retail lending, as we said, enterprise lending, asset finance, and consumer finance. Just to explain, at this moment, we are an independent organization of HDFC Bank in the sense that we don't get any leads from HDFC Bank. You know, हमारा business में all the customers we originated have been originated by this company. HDFC Bank or any of the HDFC companies don't give us leads of customers to lend to. We originate our own business. We have our own technology stack. We have branches. We have 1,771 branches. These are our own branches. We don't share space with HDFC Bank. So this organization is independent of the bank, and that's the whole idea of setting up a company which is to serve aspirational India, as we call it. So enterprise lending is a business where we give loans to businesses primarily for their business requirements. A range of products that we do, which are both secure and unsecured. This business is today 39% of our assets under management. Asset finance, so this enterprise lending business was started in 2008. Asset finance business was started in 2011, and over a period of time we added construction equipment and tractors as well. This business is today 38% of our AUM, and we finance purchase of both new and used commercial vehicles and construction equipment. Consumer finance business was started in 2016. This is a business where we give loans for purchase of durables, a television, refrigerator, car, or a two-wheeler. And this business today accounts for 23% of our AUM. At a balance sheet level, 73% of our loan book is secured, 27% is unsecured. Bulk of our origination is direct. So we originate our own customers directly. That's our primary business model, and that's how the business. So it's a large and diversified portfolio, multiple products that have been launched through the years as a company. So this slide talks about our 10 strengths around our technology, our people, our processes, and our products. I will talk about each one of these as we go along in terms of what makes our company distinct in the market. So some quick statistics. Our loan book is more than 1 lakh crore, 1069 billion, so almost 1.07 lakh crore. We have 19.2 million customers serviced till date, right? That's numbers. 1.92 crore customers, 1771 branches. Again, I'll give you more details as we go along. As we said, we only do retail lending. हम और कुछ business करते नहीं हैं. We don't do any corporate lending, no real estate lending.
1680 बता रहे हैं आपकी?
1771.
Okay. वो आंकड़े गलत है, 1680 है.
वो I think that was as of September.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is as of March. All these numbers are as of March. 1771 branches. Our top 20 customers account for just about 0.34% of our AUM. That's the level of granularity of our loan book. As I said, we don't do any corporate lending. We only do retail lending. So the 1.07 lakh crore that you see is only consists of retail loans. As you can see, our average ticket size is just about 1,65,000 rupees. We had a 20% loan growth, a 29% PAT growth, and a 27% customer growth. So this is a slide that shows you about our customer franchise. As we said, we don't get any leads from any of our sister companies. We originate our own business. We had a customer franchise of about 9 million in March 22. That number is now 19 million. 1.92 crore customer service till date. And that number has been growing at about 2x in 3 years, as you can see there. Again, it's a very granular loan book. I've explained these two numbers before. And that's our business. We only do retail lending. So this really talks about who we service. We service an India that's called aspirational India, that lives all over the country. And that's the speciality of this segment. They live all over the country, and that's the segment that we service. And the products that we offer have a huge growth potential in the years to come. About 12% of our customers that we service have no credit history, right? So in the credit bureau, they don't have any credit history. Something that we as a company have developed competence over the years to service, and we service effectively. This is our distribution footprint. As you can see that we have presence all over the country. In Rajasthan, we have over 150 branches. Rajasthan alone. Happy to also tell you that we have almost 5,000 employees in the state of Rajasthan. Right, so we have a large presence in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is one of the few states where we have more than 100 branches, along with Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. So we have, if you look at the pie on the right, you'll see that 70% of our distribution of our branch network is in tier 4 cities and beyond, which is city number 101 plus by population, right? And that's the level of distribution that we have in terms of how we cover Bharat. Right, 1771 branches in 1170 towns and cities, right, and well spread out across the country the way India's GDP is. So the states that have more than 100 branches are also large states for India's GDP. Again, if you look at the second pie on the right, you'll notice that our distribution broadly reflects India. So East accounts for about 15% of India's GDP output, about 15% of our distribution is in the East. As we said, bulk of origination is direct. We have 38,000 employees who only on a daily basis meet customers to understand their requirements and service them. We have a broad product range, a large distribution, and a large customer base. What it really helps us is to diversify risk. We don't have geographical risk, we don't have product risk, and we don't have customer risk because it's well diversified. For a lender, it's very important to have the diversification in our view, so that we're not dependent on a few geographies or a few customers or one product for bulk of our business. So in terms of just the sheer number of customers that we service on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, as you saw that our customer base has gone up from 9 million to 19 million in 3 years, means that we have to process a lot of applications at scale, and today the customer requirement is that we should be able to service and get back to the customer quickly when he or she comes to us for credit facility. So today 97% of the applications are processed digitally. So the customer can choose whether the customer wants to come through our app, come through our website, talk to us on the phone, or visit our branch, or request that a salesperson be sent over to his workplace or her workplace. Irrespective of how the process starts in terms of what's the most convenient to the customer, which we call the phygital distribution model, let the customer choose what is the most comfortable action for them, but we'll make sure that the service standards remain the same. We said we are present in 1170 cities. Now one of the propositions again is that irrespective of the customer lives in a Mumbai, a Jaipur, or a Jorat in Assam, our service standards are the same. Wherever we offer our products and services, our service standards are the same. We don't discriminate between metro and non-metro, and that's primarily because we have put a digital footprint that enables us to hyper-process applications at scale, irrespective of where the customer is. So we only originate business in markets where we can not only originate the customer, but also service the customer and take care of their requirements through their life cycle. If you look at our product range, we do both business loans and consumer loans. Again, the thought process has been, what is it that aspirational India needs through their life cycle, and how can we service that requirement effectively? So at any point in the life cycle, if a customer needs a business loan or a consumer loan, we have a suitable product which is best in class. So we have almost 9 million downloads of our app as we speak, and that number continues to grow. Now, a major differentiator or a skill that a lending company needs is the ability to underwrite, and one of the skills that we have as a company is that with our large product range, we're able to underwrite our customers in 1170 locations at scale and offer a service standard that's among the best with the peer group. So what that requires us to do is not just look at a customer at a national level, but follow a micro market approach for underwriting. If you think about India, it is a very heterogeneous market. Each market in India has a different characteristic in terms of what is the business, what are the businesses that constitute the local market, and what is the requirement of the customer. Even in a product like consumer loan, there are different products that are bought in different parts of the country based on the local requirement. Commercial vehicles, each market in India has a different requirement for a commercial vehicle for a local use case. If there's a branch near a port, वहाँ पे ट्रेलर खरीदा जाता है, whereas in cities there will be LCVs and small commercial vehicles that get purchased. If there's a refinery nearby, there will be tankers. So there's a way to underwrite each of these assets based on the requirement and understanding the profitability. And as a company, we have developed that scale, which is a mode, right? I mean, presence in 1170 cities with the products. It's not that we can launch a product and just roll it out in 1,000 cities. It requires some amount of testing, personalization that we're able to do at scale using our digital properties so that we can deliver a credit. A consumer loan gets approved in under a minute. A gold loan might take 15 minutes. A vehicle loan might take a couple of hours. But a loan against property where different states have different level of digitization of land records could take 7 to 10 days. But what we're able to do is to ensure that we're able to do this effectively at scale across the country. Yeah. Again, collections is done in-house. Like I said, sales is done in-house. Collections is primarily done in-house. Again, it's a very technology-led collections that we do. So we run scorecards for our collections. Why it's important is that it enables us to engage with the customer in the most effective manner, which is the best course of action, as we call it. If a customer misses a payment, there are broadly 5 things you can do. One is do nothing, because the customer might have just made a mistake or is aware, will make the payment himself or herself without follow-up. Second is send an SMS where the customer's consent is, the reminder will take care of the payment. Third is make a phone call. Fourth is, have a collection officer meet the customer at his or her workplace. Fifth is send a legal notice. What is the best course of action gets decided by the internal scorecards and analytics that we run at scale so that we are using the most effective way for collections. Again, the collection is 100% digital. We have over almost 9,000 field resources. They all, we know exactly right now where they are, how many payments they've picked up, and how many PTPs they're chasing. So again, it helps us deploy collections at scale so that we are most effective. I think I have to click that. So obviously processing such a large number of applications, and you can imagine a consumer loan, the maximum volume of applications come between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. on weekends. That's when most customers go shopping for their television or their refrigerator. Even vehicles, most people will visit on a weekend because they want to spend time to find out which vehicle to buy. 2 days before Diwali, Dhanteras के दिन सबसे ज़्यादा applications आते हैं, more than 10 times the number of volume of a regular day. Our technology layer takes care of this. It's a product agnostic platform. At the extreme end is a servicing layer, which is common for all customers. There's a single platform on which we're able to view all our customers. So if in the last 15 years a customer has taken loans from us at 5 different points of time, it's available, the statement of records available on a single system. We have a single CRM system used by our customer service, by our sales, and by collections teams. So we're able to make sure that we know exactly what the status of the customer is with us when he or she calls us. So it enables us to service the customer very quickly, whether the customer visits our branch or calls our call center or sends us an email. We know that the customer made a call to us last week. He sent us an email this week, and today is visiting our branch. We know that we're able to service, so we're not asking the customer all the questions all over again. At the front end, which is the engagement layer, what we have is custom journeys. Because a consumer loan takes under a minute, whereas a LAP loan takes about 7 days, what we make sure is that we're asking the right questions to the customer so that we are making the journey for the customer as smooth as possible. So the engagement layer is really customized to the product that the customer is buying at that point of time. The servicing layer is common so that we're delivering world-class service in terms of how we engage with the customer. Sorry. Yeah. In terms of a liability franchise, we have a AAA rating from both Crystal and Care. Our NCDs are about 41% of our total borrowings. We are one of the largest issuers of debt in the NCD market. In all electronic billing platform and Bombay Stock Exchange. Term loans from banks are for about 38% of our borrowings, and other forms, which is ECBs and sub-debt and perpetual debt is the balance. As you can see, commercial papers just 3% of our total borrowings. So, we have a leverage of 5.9 times as on March. Our debt to equity is 5.9 times. So some metrics, again, loan growth of 21%. If you see the last time we raised capital was in 2017 when our balance sheet size was 34,000 crores. We've been able to grow our balance sheet almost 3x without the need for raising capital by utilizing our earnings to grow our balance sheet. It's a very conscious choice that we make, managing growth with profitability, and that's something that has helped the company through the cycles and over the years. Again, I think one of the benefits that we have of the brand and of the organization is a highly stable and experienced management team. My colleague Sarabjit, who's the Chief Business Officer, has been with the company pretty much within the first 3 months of starting the company. He's been with the company for the last 17 years. Many of the people you see here have been with the company for more than 10 years in a company which is just about 17 years old. Started business in 2008, and that's really helped the company grow. The management is backed by a very diverse and independent board. It's a 9-member board, out of which 7 of the directors are independent directors. Mr. Basu, who is our chairman, is a former managing director of State Bank of India, joined our board 4 years ago. He's our non-executive chairman and independent director. Mr. Jimmy Tata there, he's the nominee director of HDFC Bank in our board. I don't think HDFC Bank needs any introduction, so I'm not going to read out those, but as I said, we were incubated by HDFC Bank to service aspirational India, and so to that extent, we have an independent setup across sourcing, underwriting, operations and risk management. On a day-to-day basis, we have no dependence on HDFC Bank for people or technology. There's no one from HDFC Bank on deputation to our company. That's the way it's been since inception. We have run an independent setup because our whole thought process was, how do we expand the pie? How do we reach more customers in India? And that required us to set up an independent vehicle and not depend on HDFC Bank for business. We borrow money from HDFC Bank, but it's an RPT. I'm sure all of you understand how difficult a related party transaction is in terms of setting up the right benchmarks and making sure that the transaction is at arm's length. We also provide BPO services to HDFC Bank, but again, it's on arm's length basis. Sorry. So to summarize, we are a upper layer NBFC, as RBI calls us, under scale-based regulations. AUM of more than 1 trillion, 19 million customer service till date, 3 diverse businesses which service the same customer through their life cycle, which is enterprise lending, asset finance and consumer finance. We have had a 17-year track record, seasoned book, which enables us to work through cycles, and made large investments in technology. 97% of our transactions are digitally processed in some form or the other, and that's enabled us to grow through cycles with profitability, and highly experienced management team backed by a very stable and experienced board. So that's what I thought I'll share today about HDB Financial Services. Thank you.
तो सर
मैनेजमेंट टीम है,
थोड़े सवाल भी हो
क्वेश्चन
जाएगा
आंसर,
जी,
माइक भी है,
नहीं हमारे कुछ प्रश्न उनका जवाब भी हो जाए
जवाब देंगे ना सर, इसी के लिए बैठे हुए हैं।
तो
बैठे बैठे देख सकते हैं कि
हाँ, आराम से बैठ के दीजिए, जैसे आपकी सुविधा हो। पहले सबसे पहले रमेश गणेश जी आपको बधाई, आप इस 2025 का सबसे बड़ा IPO लेके आए, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा अमाउंट का मैं समझता हूँ शायद इससे पहले कोई आया नहीं। लेकिन कोई भी काम अच्छा होता है ना, तो उसके साथ साथ में कुछ नेगेटिव चर्चाएं भी होती है। मेरे जो प्रश्न है वो, इसको आप ये नहीं मानेंगे मैं नेगेटिव बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं आप जो हमारे मन में कुछ भ्रांतियाँ हैं ना, उनका क्लियरिफिकेशन चाहता हूँ, और मुझे उम्मीद आप उनका देने का प्रयास करेंगे। तो सबसे पहली बात तो ये आती है इसमें कि जो मैंने देखा कि पिछले वर्ष की जो आपकी तिमाही है, उसमें नेट प्रॉफिट आपका 20% से घट के 20% से घटा, इसके अलावा एनपीएस भी आपका 2.1 से घटकर बढ़कर 2.25 हो गया। तो ऐसी स्थिति में आप आईपीओ लेके आए तो लोगों के मन में बड़ी शंकाएं होती है कि किस प्रकार से होगा। मेरी एक बात कंप्लीट हो जाए पहले, उसके बाद आप जवाब दे दीजिए। इसके अलावा जब कोई आईपीओ आता है तो कई बातें ऐसी होती है कि क्यों इसमें किया जाए कि सेबी ने भी एक कुछ आपको पहले कुछ किया, 50 से ज़्यादा एम्प्लॉइज को, जो आपको मैं पूरा नहीं बोलूँ तो ज़्यादा ठीक रहेगा, आप कुछ समझ गए होंगे उसको, है ना। तो उसको लेके प्राइवेट प्लेसमेंट कंपनी से जो किया गया उसको लेके जो चर्चा हुई उसके बारे में मार्केट में जो भ्रांतियाँ हैं उसको आप किस प्रकार से क्लियर करना चाहेंगे। और एक प्रश्न मेरा और है जी, खासकर अनसिक्योर्ड जो लोन है उसमें कॉमर्शियल व्हीकल को लेकर के जो फाइनेंस है और उसमें लोन प्रोसेसिंग में जो प्रॉब्लम्स आती है, रिकवरी में जो प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, इसको किस प्रकार से फुलफिल क्लियर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। ये मेरे 3 सवाल है, उसके जवाब हो जाए, चौथा मैं बाद में पूछ लूंगा। मेरे तो बात हो जाए, आप बोलते जो बीच में कहते नहीं मेरा नंबर ले लो,
आएगा, सबका नंबर आएगा।
हाँ।
और बैठे हुए
ठीक है,
शाम तक यहीं पे हैं।
Thank you. So, I said we have a 17-year track record, and one of the things that I did not tell you in the presentation is that we've been a profitable company since financial year 2009-10, which is the second year of operations. So that's the track record that we have built.
माइक आपका सही नहीं है,
Sorry.
माइक की आवाज क्लियर नहीं है।
Hello.
हाँ,
Yeah. So I said one of the things I didn't tell you in the presentation is that we have been a profitable company since financial year 2009-10, which is the second year, virtually the second year of operations of the company. And that's something that we've been working through. As a, we started the company with a, it's a startup, right? We did not buy some other company and build it from there. So people like Sarabjit who joined the company virtually put out the first loan in the company. The balance sheet grew from 0 to 1 to a 1,07,000 crores. So that's been the track record of the company in terms of growth and profitability. So in that there'll be some ups and downs, and last year was a year of little bit of a down. The macroeconomic environment was a little slower than what we would have expected otherwise, and that's something that we are very conscious of. In terms of SEBI compliance, we filed our DRHP on October 30th, and we got approval on May 28th. It's a large IPO, 12,500 crores, goes through the process. We have met all compliances, whether it's Companies Act or SEBI. There are no non-compliances, and even I've read some of the news articles and मेरे को भी पता चला कि अच्छा ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है. We have answered all SEBI queries. We got a full proper approval without any qualifications. And if you read our RHP, you'll notice that there is no comment on our share structure or capital structure. It's all been in compliance with Companies Act and various regulations of the country. See, we are part of the HDFC group. We are very conscious of the fact that we should be setting up the standards, whether it is corporate governance or otherwise, and that's how we kind of think about it. You can read the RHP in detail. There are no qualifications that we have done, so completely in compliance. As far as loan recovery is concerned, sir, my point is that we have launched different businesses at different points of time. Each business goes through a learning curve in terms of understanding. I said, I'm not lending to people with a lot of high salaries, because when you think of a person with a very high salary, whether it's in Jaipur, whether it's in Chennai, or whether it's in Calcutta, उनका एक homogeneous behavior होता है in terms of what they do and how they think and how they spend their money. So we are lending to what we call aspirational India, Bharat. There our business works on understanding the local market. Each market in India has a different behavior in terms of what are the businesses that constitute the local economy and how do we make sure that that requirement is met. So if you look at our ticket sizes, they're much smaller than what banks would typically offer for similar products. For example, our unsecured business loan is just about 2,90,000 rupees average ticket size. Our loan against property is just about 40 lakhs. And this is in a business where we offer loans across the country, right? And ticket size is just about 40 lakhs. So what we do is, understand and learn through these. And as I said, we've had a seasoning of 17 years. An unsecured loan that we might give is typically for 3 years. So we started unsecured lending business in 2008, which means we've had almost 5 churns, if you think about it. Something that we are very conscious of, very careful about how we lend, who we lend to. Our credit policies are localized to the market, and whether it's an unsecured loans business or commercial vehicle business, we are careful that we are making loans to customers who we think have a high probability of payment. Our business will have some credit cost, right? That's part of the business risk. It's taking that risk, or calculated risk is part of our business, and that's something that we do. And we make sure that if we have something working well, we do it more. If it's not working well, we slow it down and pull it back. That's our thought process. That's how we work through our cycles.
आपके शहरों में तो बहुत ब्रांचेज है, ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में इतना आपका नेटवर्क नहीं है, इसलिए आपको प्लानिंग